What's up, everybody? My name is Chad Shifley, and I have a killer clown unboxing for you today. I'm unboxing 2 Pennywise clowns, one from Hot Toys, one from Sideshow Collectibles. Stick around, I'll show you what they're all about. Stephen King's It first terrified readers when it hit shelves in 1986. Clocking in at roughly 1,140 pages, the novel is a sprawling epic of childhood, trauma, and small-town terror.
Guess you're the first.
It was first adapted for the screen as a 1990s 2-part miniseries with Tim Curry delivering what would become a legendary, colorful, and deeply unsettling portrayal of Pennywise the Clown. His performance still haunts pop culture today. Almost 3 decades later, the story returned to the big screen with 2017's It Chapter 1 and 2019's It Chapter 2. In these cinematic reimaginings, Bill Skarsgård stepped into the role as Pennywise, bringing a darker, more alien presence to the character, supported by a Hollywood-sized budget and a modern horror aesthetic. At its core, both versions share the same terrifying premise, the Losers Club.
We're sort of a club. Yeah, the Losers Club.
A group of kids from Derry, Maine, who must confront Pennywise, an ancient shape-shifting entity that resurfaces every 27 years to feed on the town's children. Each adaptation stands out for different reasons, and in my opinion, not good reasons at all. The 1990 miniseries may show its age, but Tim Curry's performance is widely magnetic, colorful, sinister, and mischievous. It still terrifies in a beautifully old-school way. The modern films lean more into modern scares with gritty visuals, intense atmospheres, and a redesigned Pennywise whose unsettling look made him an instant horror icon for a new generation. Now, I want to be clear. I'm being extremely generous with my thoughts on these films right now in this video, and that's on purpose. The spotlight today belongs to these stunning figures, not my rage towards these films. But trust me, I have a lot more to say about the movies themselves, and it is not pretty. If you want the full, unfiltered breakdown, the good, the bad, and mostly ugly, I'll be posting a separate video shortly after this one, so keep an eye out for that. I will be going full scorched earth policy on these 3 films, and there will be no mercy. But until then, let's get back to the topic of discussion. These awesome figures from Hot Toys and Sideshow Collectibles. 2 1/6 scale Pennywise figures that capture these designs quite perfectly. We have 2 eras, 2 clowns, 1 showdown, and don't worry, when I show you the Hot Toys Pennywise, you're going to see him in his full practical glory, since we got almost none of that from the films. You'll float too. I remember watching the 1990s miniseries 2-part movie, and I always remember it being stupid.
Been too long since last time.
Put that thing down.
It's filled with cheesy dialogue, bad acting.
No!
Yes!
Stan!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Yes! No!
Yes!
Yes!
And just like campy interactions between characters.
Why is it so mean?
I never personally found it scary. I've also never been a person who's afraid of clowns.
See you in your dreams.
I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details of the films, but what had always stood out was Tim Curry's performance as Pennywise. I always appreciated and enjoyed his performance in the film. So even though if all the other elements didn't do anything for me and I didn't like them, I've always been a fan of Tim Curry's performance.
Take your pick. Billy boy.
And I'm pretty sure most viewers that are watching this video right now can agree with me on that. Without further ado, let's first look at the boxes. So this is the box from Sideshow Collectibles. So it has an outside sleeve. Just got some cool photos of the figure, some breakdown of what's inside. You got the 1/6 scale, horror, Pennywise, master of horror, unleashes everything you were ever afraid of. I don't know about that, but sure. The top of the box there. I've had this figure for a good couple months now, but I've been waiting to do this video, so I haven't been able to open it and look at it up close. So you, my friends, are gonna be the first to see it with me. We're just gonna slide the sleeve off. Pennywise, there he is. Okay. Kind of the annoying thing about a lot of these collectible figures from different companies is that if you don't take it out of the box, it's really hard to see the figure inside. So, because they got them all, you know, bagged up and wrapped up. As you can see, you can't really see Pennywise himself. You can see like the alternative head right there, but that's about it. So of course, when I wanted to get my hands on this figure, I was already too late to the party, so it was sold out online, sold out on Sideshow.com, so I was already kind of screwed. But I went to St. Augustine recently with my girlfriend for a concert, and there was this really cool collectible shop in the town, and it was called Mythical Mountain. This place was so cool. The shop pretty much had a little bit of everything for a collector. I looked around for a while and I was determined to find something, and I was able to find this Pennywise figure from Sideshow. As I was scooting it off the shelf, I was already expecting the price tag to be extremely high. Thankfully, the owner of the shop priced it very reasonably, so I snagged it up. Mythical Mountain, if you're in St. Augustine, I do believe they have another shop in Jacksonville, Florida as well. Check them out. Super cool place. They got a lot of stuff. So, I'm gonna crack this bad boy open and see what we got. Oh, look at that. I don't even need this. Pennywise is out of the box. Oh, whoa. Like I said, very well packaged. He's in there nice and snug. So there's multiple layers to this. So you got the top plastic layer, which we'll lift off in a second, but then there's a bottom layer here. And this is where you'll find the base and then also the accessories. So you have balloons. There's a lot of hands in here. So let's see, you got 1, 2, 3 pairs of extra hands, and then the balloons have a hand already attached to them. And then you have the 1 pair of hands that are his spider hands. Georgie's boat, paper boat, an alternative head, which is his monster head with his sharp teeth, and he looks ugly and all that kind of crap. And then a stand, so you can stand him up. Let's just get Pennywise out of the packaging. So, it's like a sarcophagus. And then we got Pennywise. I thought I broke it already. I was gonna be real pissed. He just pops right out like this. Oh. There we go. So his hair is, whoa, wow. His hair is very fluffy, which is pretty cool. So if you want to, you could style his hair all kinds of ways if you want, but it's very fluffy, very poofy. It's not sculpted into it, so that's pretty cool. The fabric on his clothing, this is so cool looking. Holy shit. Wow. Like the detail on it is amazing. So the fabric is feels very good. Look at that. Awesome. So I'm gonna take these little plastic sleeves off. His feet too. Just like that. Love that. Wow. Very, very cool. He feels good. The arms are plastic, solid plastic, but in here is kind of padded, so it feels very squishy, like spongy. And so his hands that he comes with are kind of just like Toma gato, Mr. Roboto, which is fine. I like how his hair is nice and fluffy, because you can like stylize that if you want. Very, very detailed. Holy shit. Here is his alternative head. Got a yellow balloon.
Don't you want a balloon?
Don't you want a balloon?
Don't you want it?
Don't you want it?
Get the balloon, and then his little hand. So that kind of just fits right in there. And then you have your accessories here. Georgie's little boat. Yeah, there we go. Georgie's paper boat. which leads to his demise at the beginning of each of the films.
What a nice boat.
And you got his claw hands. You get 2 of those. The strings of the balloons are like, the best way to describe it, it's like a heavy-duty paper clip. So it's metal, very sturdy. They're not going anywhere. The yellow balloon is the same way. And then you have a couple other pairs of hands. Pennywise with his fists open, his hands open. You have a pointer one. Pointer finger. This hand automatically reminds me, which I'm pretty sure this is what it's referencing, is in the film when the Losers Club, the kids are hanging around a photo album. They flip to a page of the town. The photo comes to life with the townspeople walking around, strolling by, and then in the distance, Pennywise is like doing cartwheels and doing flips and stuff, and then he sees them through the photograph, and then he runs up a lamppost and speaks to the children directly through the photograph. And then at the end of it, he like reaches out through the page. It comes out of the book, and then they slam the book shut. Pretty cool moment. So that's definitely what that's from. What I want to just make a comment about is the screen accuracy of the figure. The detail of this figure is unreal. Just look at it. Like, it's so eerie, it's so creepy. The facial expression is so detailed. The paint job is so detailed. The quality feels very, very good. So you can complain about the price like I do sometimes, but I get it. I mean, these things are highly detailed, high quality, and it's just, my initial thoughts is that it's just fantastic. The articulation is there, so just moving him around, he already has, I can already feel just so many different points of articulation. His knees, his ankles, his feet, his wrists, his elbows, shoulders, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. The posability is there. The quality is there. Most importantly, the detail is there. So the paint job in combination with the detail is just unbelievable. I have no regrets about coughing up the money for this figure. This is going to be so cool on my shelf. Let's crack open the Hot Toys Pennywise from It Chapter 2. It comes in a pretty awesome, very detailed box. Love that. So let's see what we got here. This guy's heavy. Ooh, there's a lot going on inside this one. More hands! Do you need a hand? God damn, wow. There is no shortage of hands between these two figures. I ran into the same issue I did with the Sideshow Collectible Pennywise, is that I was a little bit late to the party on getting this figure, so by the time I was looking for it, it was sold out on all the websites, and the only way to find it would be through third-party sellers, whether that be eBay, whether that be Mercari, however you say it, or other third-party websites that were selling these items. So obviously when that happens, you're going to be paying more money for it than you would MSRP. So the It Chapter 2 is around $250, $260. It fluctuates and whatnot. So when I started looking for this figure online, I couldn't find it for less than $400, which was annoying. So I was able to get this from Mercari. So first impression before taking off all the plastic and stuff like that is that the detail is amazing. The likeness to the character, the likeness to Bill Skarsgård is there. It is very, very, very detailed. Love that. So let's move that for a second. Comes with the base. We'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna set that aside for now. And let's just pop off top here. 10. Okay. Lift that off there. And then here Pennywise is in the packaging here. Okay, so let me just pop him out of here. He's gonna levitate out of here. So the very first obvious difference is that the hair is not synthetic fabric. It is part of the sculpt of the figure. I personally don't like that. I think it works for this figure because of the hairstyle and whatnot, but you know, in the 1990 version, the Pennywise wig I felt was like kind of, there was way more to it. It was more like fro-y. And so I think it might work better that this isn't that and it is sculpted into the figure. Initial thought is I'm not a major fan of it being part of the sculpt, but nonetheless, it is still very, very well detailed. So like even the strands of hair in the head, like even though the hair is part of the sculpt of the figure, it's extremely detailed. So that's awesome. Fabric feels good. Immediate thoughts is that the articulation's there too. Like I said, it has about 30 or more points of articulation. So, you know, he moves around pretty easily. Elbows, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees. Look at his shoes. His shoes are freaking cool. Got the little pom-poms on the shoes. Likeness is there. Detail is there. Posability is absolutely there. This is freaking awesome. The detail in these figures is phenomenal. So I know the price tags are high, but I kind of get it. The worst thing would be to spend the money and you get a figure that doesn't even look like the character. So that's the head it comes with first. This little creepy grin right there. And then the alternative head it comes with is this one with like the sharp teeth. I personally don't like this option for a head. I don't like the whole shark teeth kind of thing. One of my major issues with both It Chapter 1 and 2 is that Pennywise just had so many different transformations. It was ridiculous. Like, all I wanted was to watch Bill Skarsgård in his practical makeup act and just be that character. And like just when he would start to get going, he would always transform into some CGI ridiculous looking thing, and it was just obnoxious and I hated it. So this is one of his many ridiculous looking transformations. I'm not a huge fan of this, but that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, whether or not you like that alternative head or not. Next thing we got, we have a skateboard. Comes with a skateboard. I used to skateboard all the time as a kid. I get it. Love that. It's like a tech deck, you know? So this has a little bit more flexibility. It wobbles a little bit more. The string is, I don't know exactly what material that is, but it's flexible, but it's also very sturdy. So as long as you're not flinging it around, it's not going to break. It's not going to go anywhere, so that's good. It's a jack-in-a-box. Duh. It's got the little lever here. I don't want to break it, but you can turn it like that. The lid comes up and down, and then Mr. Jack-in-the-Box can fit right in there. So there you go. We have, once again, a lot of options for hands. You have Georgie's boat, which is pretty cool. Obviously, these boats are different in each film, but I prefer the 1990s boat, especially for the figures, because it's more detailed and bigger, and I just like it better. So the options for posing are all there, which is great with these two figures. So on top of all the articulation, you have lots of options to switch up the pose, switch up the hands, switch up everything. So it's never the same look all the time. And then comes with a base. I can already tell that this base is far more detailed and interesting than the Sideshow Collectible Pennywise. The Sideshow Collectible Pennywise seems like it just has a base. It's like a stand. That's how I would describe it. The Sideshow Collectible Pennywise has a stand. The Hot Toys Pennywise has a base. So it comes with a pole. It bends, so you can like move it around and customize it as you want. And then it comes with a clip. So ultimately, this will screw into the base. You'll put the clip on, and then this will hug around Pennywise's waist, and you'll be able to pose him as you see fit. So the base is 2 pieces. So you have the front base, says It, Chapter 2, and it's got water. Like in the beginning of the film when the rain's washing down the drain, where Georgie is chasing his boat, and then the top part will just clamp down like that, and now you have the sewer, and then there's a little hole here where you will screw the hole into, like that. You'll put the clamp on the top and then stand Pennywise up against that. Also, a really, really cool thing about the base for this one, and a very unique detail, is that they did not waste any space when it came to the base. Now, what does that mean? It means that when you pop the top off here, you see there's a little indentation right here. And right there, you can put the alternative head for safekeeping. Not only does the base have a place for the alternative head, but it also is exactly like it's on brand for the film, because Pennywise is in the sewer, but when he's luring in Georgie, and so the base is the sewer. You could store the head in the base, and then you can just put it over top, and now you have like Pennywise in the sewer looking out. Now that is awesome. That is so cool. Now you don't have to worry about like putting the head somewhere and forgetting where you put it, or worrying about damaging it. Whatever head you choose to use, you can just stick it and store it under the base, but it also is very fitting to that scene. Like, how cool is that? There you have it. 2 clowns, 2 eras, 2 very different breeds of horror. Whether you're Team Curie with his colorful, twisted charm, or Team Skarsgård with that alien, predatory energy, both of these figures bring something special to the table and to the shelf. For me, it's less about crowning one winner and more about appreciating how each version nails the essence of its respective film. The 1990 Pennywise is bright, loud, and unsettling in a way only Tim Curry could pull off. While the modern Pennywise is dark, it's sinister, and unsettling in every tiny detail. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which Pennywise you think deserves the crown. Or maybe you're like me and you can't imagine your collection without both. Do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Stay collecting, my friends. See ya.